my loves, and welcome back to another video. First video of 2025, which feels very like, that feels really weird because it feels like we've been in 2025 for a while when in reality we've only been here just shy of 2 weeks. How are we? Happy New Year. Definitely missed you guys. I thought I had to come back onto YouTube in 2025 with, of course, a catch-up video. The next video will kind of be a vlog, just getting back into routine. I will say, like, I feel like let's just jump straight into it. I mean, like, I was like, how do I warm up into this? My start of my 2025, it was like, okay, I don't know, like I got into 2025 and I felt so burnt out, didn't want to do anything. Like I know that because the New Year's was like in the middle of the week, I know that a lot of us probably didn't go back to work till the 6th. So there was kind of like that limbo state where no one really knew what to do with themselves, was still like taking time to like recover after the hectic Christmas break and just like get back into it. I'm sure a lot of you also went straight back into it, which is props to you, like even crazier. But I went into the new year, like I'm so excited for 2025. I think it's going to be the biggest year in terms of like change, lots going on, so much exciting stuff that I literally can't wait to kind of like bring you all guys on board about and share more about, and then be able to take you on these journeys with me, which I'm so excited about. Hopefully, I think by next month I should be able to give you some big clues for both big things that are going on this year, which we'll get more into in the next part of the video. I actually haven't done questions for this video, where normally I do kind of like ask kind of what questions do we want, but I just thought I'm just gonna chit chat with you guys and just kind of ramble. So hopefully you enjoy this. But no, I came into the new year really burnt out. Like I didn't move from the sofa for like 2 days. Like I just didn't want to do anything, and that was annoying me so much because it's so unlike me. Definitely like have kind of like this outlook on kind of like resolutions at the moment, and I'm not really going for like hardcore resolutions. I'm not doing 75-day hard. I'm not going, okay cool, I need to change my entire personality just because it's a new year. And I do think that is something that like I want so many people to be able to understand, is that you don't need to change everything about yourself in the new year. It's just not needed. You were an amazing person last year. You don't need to be a completely different person this year. Just keep on the way that you were going, or keep on, I don't know, like use it as a chance to reset, renew and refresh. I definitely came into the new year, I saw everyone start their 75-day hard as they normally do, all these like big changes left, right and center, which is amazing for people. But like I just felt like I was that person that was like, oh, like I don't know, it makes you feel even more guilty for not being where everyone else is. And I was saying this on a TikTok the other day, that in a world where like everyone's life is at your fingertips, like everyone's life, you can see what people are doing day in, day out. It's all online. A lot of people will also show their highlights, so they won't really show that they're like maybe perhaps struggling, that they are kind of still getting to grips with the new year themselves. And that's really hard. Like it's a really tough thing. I was sat in my little blanket on the sofa seeing all these people with like these amazing physiques, and I'm thinking, wow, on day 2 you look like that. But no, obviously that's one, their physique. 2, they've obviously been like doing that for years and years. But yeah, it's just a weird reality to come back into. But I've really decided like to just not apply that pressure, to really just go in it as a means to go on. I feel like I made such good progress last year, really coming into myself. It was obviously the first year not being in education. I mean, I've not been in education for a year and a half now, but like full year, if that makes sense. And I really enjoyed it, and I got to do lots and lots of traveling. I'd love to be able to travel this year, perhaps maybe not so much, because like I say, a lot of work's going on this year, so I don't think I'll actually be able to. There's a few like little destinations that me and Jed want to do. I know that we really want to do either Italy or Greece, because I've never done Greece as an adult, and I've done Italy, and I'd love Jed to go to Italy as well, just because it is one of my favourite places. The food, the vibe, I just absolutely love it. But yeah, this is just my 2 pence saying that if you're kind of just mellowing through things, and that is so fine. Like you've got to do you got to do what makes you happy. Don't punish yourself by not doing all these crazy fitness schemes, or like not eating super clean. Like a lot of people, like it's not necessary. Like obviously eating good whole foods and like nutritious is the best way to fuel your bodies. But if you want to go and have a takeout or go for dinner, like I'm literally going for dinner tonight, and it kind of feels like, oh, like going out for dinner in the first 2 weeks of January, like, oh, like no, like reward yourself. Like everyone's day can be so extremely mundane, going from your 9 to 5. Like you've got to find these like moments of happiness and these like little what are they called, pockets of peace, just to be able to keep going. And I feel like I used the word refresh so much, but I genuinely think like refreshing every single week is the means to go on. Speaking about means to go on, I read this quote and it was like, finish today as a means to go on tomorrow. And it's not necessarily that I haven't set loads of resolutions or like habits. For me, I know that I want to be eating more like bigger meals and like whole foods and having all my nutrients, dense based like kind of products in there, so that I'm getting my proteins in and I'm getting my veggies in, because definitely towards last year I don't think I saw a green veg in a while. I haven't really got, you're gonna get up at 5 a.m. every day and like little bits like that, but I actually made a video on it, and I think it might be, I don't know whether it's going up tomorrow or it'll be going up like the day after, just over on my TikTok. But with that quote being finished today as it means to go on tomorrow, I've kind of set myself like a little night routine that I'm really trying to stick by, and I've kind of set it into 5 different categories. And if like you're struggling with productivity, which was me at the beginning of the year, I feel like I'm slowly getting back into it, slowly finding my spark, which I feel really happy about. I also think for me, weather is such a huge factor. Like as I'm looking out right now, the sky is just so beautiful, blue, sunny, and it just gives me the best vibes. And that genuinely does like kind of like fuel my body and fuel my spark to be able to want to go out and do things. Like when it's grey and miserable, no thank you. But number one, it is being that like I physically write down what I'm going to do the next day. Whether you're employed or self-employed, that obviously looks very, very different. But like if there's tasks that you want to get done after you come home from work, or just like even writing out if you've got assignments that are going on in work, I'll literally write out like 8 a.m. wake, like I'm here at 9 a.m. I want to come home and I've got 2 tasks that I really want to do. One that I could maybe, yeah, it'd be amazing to get it done, but if I'm tired, like it's just having that kind of like, you've got to give yourself leniency and you've got to give yourself that reality. Like if you set yourself really high expectations, it's amazing, it's great, but sometimes it can also be extremely down-putting when you haven't done all these amazing things in one day. You've got to be really real with yourself, and you'll find yourself kind of reaping those rewards so much more. I feel like I'm wobbling this camera so much. I haven't used the DJI Pocket in so long. But yeah, so that's my one, and I like to physically write it down. Like I'm not talking notes in my phone because I feel like I just forget and I leave about them, but physically write it down so I can actually tick it off throughout the day. It's just like, it scratches my brain, it's chef's kiss to me. And then my second one is tidy home and tidy mind. But that's obviously like, oh god, cleaning every single day, which a lot of people don't have time to do in a hectic lifestyle. But it's just like, for me, it does, like I'm a clean person, but I'm not tidy. Does that make sense? I'll make sure that the 2 habits that I've kind of set is that the kitchen will be tidy, because I feel like that is the hub of your home. Like I do think that, and in the morning when you go to get your breakfast, you want a clean environment, otherwise you're going to wake up and it's just like, oh god, like it's groggy. Do you know what I mean? So again, like I'm just finding like different moments to spark that motivation. And then it's secondly, this is a little rule, so it's kind of like not like a game as such, but like we're human beings, so you've got to spark that kind of like intuitivity, otherwise it just doesn't happen. So mine is that no clothing can be left on the floor of the bedroom before bed. So that means that when I'm obviously going to bed, there is nothing on the floor, because I am really bad for literally taking off my clothes, getting into my pajamas, and my clothes will be left there. Then there'll be a pile, and then it'll be pushed into a corner, and that is me to a T. So that is something that, again, like when I'm waking up, it's just setting that environment. I think your environment can be your biggest factor into finding motivation, being happy. Oh my god, it's huge. Like, and especially when it comes to friends and family and the people that you carry around you. I noticed that last year, like you've really got to prioritize who you're spending time with, and whether they're not necessarily adding loads to your life, but the minute that you find someone's energy is really draining you, really negative, like not to necessarily cut people off, but like you've just got to think like you have to protect your peace. And again, didn't understand that quote, but your peace is like what keeps you going every day. It's gonna make you happy, it's gonna keep you motivated. If you've got someone that's kind of dragging you down, like why do you want that? So that's a whole nother thing. 3 is skincare. That kind of like was just like a kind of like a what's it called? It's just something that I absolutely love doing. Give my face a little massage, kind of like I don't know, just to end off the day. But last year I really fell off the track of my skincare. I feel like because I was traveling between so many different locations, I really just stopped doing it. But again, it makes me happy when I see my face is glowing in the morning. Like that's where I want to be. It's just giving time into yourself and investing in your health and your well-being, and investing in, and I am a high maintenance girly, so I do invest in those areas of my life. That was quite like a simple one. Make sure that I'm taking my vitamins every day, that kind of vibe in the evening. 4th, which is something that I've absolutely loved doing relating to the high maintenance, is I'll actually pick out my outfit the night before, which sounds like a very generic thing, and I think a lot of people do it, but I've never done it. Like never done it. So I'll pick up my outfit the night before, literally whether that is that I'm working from home and there's a tracksuit, like I will put it on the wardrobe, I will hang it up just so that in the morning, again, I'm not stood there thinking, oh god, like what am I going to wear today? Not that it matters what you wear, but I love fashion, so I love to be able to like pick different things out, and it just saves me so much time in the morning to get up and get on with things. So yeah, that's my 4th one. And then coming to my 5th one, which I feel like I spoke about maybe a little bit but that's making sure that you find time to reward yourself and finding those pockets of peace in your day, something to look forward to. Again, we're human beings, we work with bribes. Like I bribe myself, there's no tomorrow, and that's not a bad thing. It is not a bad thing to say, okay, Imogen, as soon as you tidy the kitchen, you can get your biscuit. Do you know what I mean? Like that is how my brain works. I love nothing more than cozying up on the sofa, sticking on Friends, because guys, I'm still addicted. I'm on season 9. Really sad it's going to come to an end, but I'm thinking, do I just rewatch it? But I can't, because I think Jed would get so annoyed with me hearing that theme tune every single day. And some Lotus biscuits. They're my absolute fixation right now. I love a good Lotus biscuit. So yeah, it's just finding those little moments that you can look forward to at the end of the day, or even like if you set like little bits in the middle of the day. Like it's really bad because I got my espresso machine, which I absolutely love. But there's nothing I love more than going out and buying a £6 overpriced coffee, which is ridiculous. And I'm actually cutting back on those because this year I am trying to save as much as I can. I'm cutting out impulsive buying. It's not needed. Like, I don't know. I think that is maturing. I feel myself maturing. I impulse buy that there's no tomorrow. It's because I love shopping. Some may call me a shopaholic. But yeah, it's not needed. So I'm definitely trying to save more on the way of my shopping habits. I do find myself that if I've gone out to the gym or something and I'll think, oh, grab myself coffee on the way back, which by all means do it, reward yourself. But equally then in my head I am also thinking, you can make it for free at home, Imogen. So there's like kind of like that balance. It's finding that balance as well for me. I don't know, that's my nighttime routine that I've really been trying to like stick to, just to kind of like spark that motivation in the daytimes, because I had been really, really struggling with it. Equally, I don't know if you can see here, that is one thing about this camera, is it's got a really wide angle so you can see all of the mess. That is actually a pile of like vintage stuff. I've cleared out my whole wardrobe, like cleared it, really, really cleared it out, and just got rid of a lot of pieces. 3 massive bags went to the charity, and then these are just pieces that I'm popping on my vintage. And then there's another box of stuff that I can't talk about. I hate, but I love being that person. I'm really sorry. And then in the mornings, again, we've spoken about this, like I'm not a morning person. So I feel like my morning routine kind of changes every day. I think maybe I am a TV fiend. I just love watching TV. So I have been kind of saying, okay, Imogen, if you're going to watch half an hour of TV in the morning, spend that time doing your makeup. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't need to be doing that. And yeah, in terms of like health and wellness, I mean, I've not really got any like goals, but I've really been loving Pilates. Like really been loving it, and I'm so happy that I've been loving it, because it's just like I really fell out of like love with the gym, love with like taking myself to classes, but I'm a Pilates princess through and through now, and I'm so here for it, and I'm hoping it's gonna last, because I hate when there's nothing more that I hate than going through like phases, because when I'm in them I love them so much, but I do tend to drop out, and that's kind of like the burnout phase. And like again, it's trying to find that balance and kind of being like, Imogen, okay, you've done 5 classes this week, maybe don't do the 6th because you actually don't need that, but it's because I really enjoy going to them. But yeah, it's just finding that balance between, because my brain genuinely doesn't switch off, I try and do the most, like I cram the most in. But then sometimes, like for example, this week, the way that my schedule's worked out, I've said Sunday I'm gonna do nothing. I mean, I've got this video to edit, but like it's just finding, like you've got to sometimes tell yourself switch off, which is something I definitely don't do. But no, absolutely loving Pilates. I've got my gym, which does kind of like reformer classes and loads of regular classes, so I'm making use of those. But then equally, literally 2 minutes down the road from me, I found hot yoga, and oh my god, it's my new favorite thing. I don't know why, it's just absolutely incredible. I've only done 2 classes there so far. Love the 2 classes, so I'm like ready to take on more. We'll talk about my 5-year plan soon, because this kind of feeds into it. Yeah, so I've done a vinyasa yoga class, which is quite like dynamic. Really enjoyed that. I'm really enjoying about like learning more about the different types of yogas, and that's kind of like what I want to educate myself on this year. And then I've also, this morning, the class that I did was a Inferno dynamic mat Pilates. Oh my god, I speak about that in the vlog that's coming out, and Jesus Christ, that was a lot. Like it was a lot, but it was amazing, because it was one of those things where it's like, wow, I actually pushed myself through that, and that was amazing, and now I feel great, now I can get on with my day. So that was really, really good. The whole hot part of it mainly comes from, one, you sweat so much. It's really good for cardiovascular health, and it's really good for the muscles in terms of like flexibility and kind of finding that full potential and that range. So that's why I absolutely love it. But yeah, really been enjoying that. This is such a weird chat, because I do kind of feel like I'm rambling on at you. But basically, in amidst, one thing that I've actually implemented into kind of like when I was sitting down and kind of thinking, okay, what do I want to do this year? Like what's going on? A lot is already going on, but I've started to think, okay, well, world is your oyster. Do you know what I mean? I'm in my 20s. what's going on. So I wouldn't say I've made a 5-year plan, but I very loosely kind of what would the dream be? What would the goal be? And then this year I'd like to start implementing things to said goal. So my absolute dream, which has only come about probably in the last 2 months, but it's something that I feel very, very passionately about. And obviously I trained at dance college for 3 years and I haven't done anything with that, which some will have their different opinions on, but I still think like I wouldn't have had it any other ways. I wouldn't tell anyone that I regretted my dance college experience at all. I feel like it made me into a completely different person. I feel like it built me into the person I am today, and why I do have good discipline. And that is one thing, is you can say good things about yourself without it being self-obsessed, is that the right word? Or without it being like cocky. Do you know what I mean? Like, praise yourself. Yeah, I haven't yet done anything. I'm sure something will arise. I'm definitely going to start going back to a few more dance classes. I just think I'm just going to treat it as a hobby that I absolutely love. Whereas Pilates, I really enjoy it and I see a future with it, which is completely different because I didn't see a future with my dance, which that's really sad. But I don't know, it's a competitive world and I don't know if it was a bit of me. The dream, the absolute dream would be to have a Pilates studio. I'm so excited about it, and I'm hoping whether it will be 2026 or 2027, I have so many amazing ideas for said Pilates studio, like different classes that I want to do, different, what's it called, like genres of music. Do like, you know how people say like, oh yeah, like my Friday nights I spend like at home as opposed to the club. Okay, cool, but what if you could spend your Friday night doing all your wellness stuff, but listening to R&B music whilst doing your Pilates? Like, to me, it's like going to the club and like not going to the club. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking that sounds like great fun. I've just got so many amazing ideas that I really want to put into practice. But of course, you guys are going to have to get a qualification. So I think it's that if anyone also reaching out, if anyone knows or has any yoga, Pilates and reformer qualifications, please actually do message me if you have any good teaching spots. I know there are a few around in London. It's just a minefield. I'm trying to figure out where to go, if that makes sense. I know that you've basically got to get up to, or you train to a level 3, I think. And then once you've got your level 3, you can then do the reformer. But I feel like some people have just trained in reformer. I'm really confused. Either way, I'll figure it out. So yeah, I basically want to get qualifications in a yoga, Pilates, and then move on to reformer. I was actually watching this TikTok vlog this morning and this girl was getting her reformer qualifications, where she was saying that it's basically that you do like loads of learning and then at the end of it you have to actually like make a class. But I think that's the scariest part, is like, okay, cool, like I love what I'm doing at the minute, but then actually like having to be mic'd up and like speaking to people, like that's a big thing, and I'm gonna have to really get myself like into that and get confident with it, because I'm getting better at it, but I'm not a confident public speaker. So I feel like when you're teaching a whole entire class, be very interesting. But yeah, I'd love to be able to teach, really get into that. But that will be, yeah, it would be something that takes a while, but something that I want to start on working towards this year, which is very exciting. And I'm really happy that I've kind of like found something, that really looking forward to something in that aspect. Equally, mine and Saffron's venture is by no means finished. It is hopefully, fingers bloody crossed, coming out soon. Again, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to jinx it, because when obviously it releases, boy, oh boy, do we have stories to tell you. We're going to have to keep you all updated. Because yeah, starting a business, it's not easy. Which, we never thought it was going to be. But we haven't had the smoothest ride, I will say that. So it'll be nice when we can finally talk to you guys all about that. And I feel like that might be it, because I have actually just talked for 20 minutes straight. I just wanted to be the person to be like, if you're still trying to find your spark, if you haven't got that motivation, if you're still going on from last year, then that is completely fine. You'll find your spark again. You don't need to be going a million miles an hour in January, because it's not needed. Like, a lot of people can be very happy in your life and you can just be absolutely loving it, and there is nothing wrong with that, and you don't need to be feeling guilty for not wanting to change, because sometimes you don't need to change. Okay, right. I think that's all my wisdom drained for today. I probably actually chat absolute crap, don't I? But anyways, I hope you did enjoy this video. Thank you so much if you did make it this far. Make sure to comment, subscribe, like down below, all the good fun jazz, and hopefully I will see you in the next one, which will be a vlog. So back to the usual routine. Me and Jed are also going to film a pillow talk soon. So if you have any questions, you know where my DMs are. Okay, love you. Bye.